In the beginning of the movie, we see an old man named Wade enjoying a bike ride. He stops at a petrol pump and notices a man scolding his dog. Disapproving of this behavior, Wade approaches him and shoots him. But that's not all. He also shoots a couple sitting nearby. Then, very calmly, he leaves on his bike and no one can do anything to stop him. The story then shifts to Hannah and her husband Maxie, who are very happy because Hannah is pregnant. Hannah's first husband had passed away, leading to her second marriage. During this time, we see Clara climbing a tree, which she does whenever she experiences an anxiety attack. Clara is not happy with her mother's second marriage, but rarely speaks about it. Hannah knows where Clara might be, so she suggests to Maxie, "Why don't you take her out for a walk? It'll help you two bond better." Maxie agrees, and he takes Clara on a drive to spend some time together. Before they leave, Hannah gives him some medicine and his phone, asking him to take care of himself. While on the trip, Maxie stops at a petrol pump to use the washroom. At the same time, Wade arrives and stands beside Maxie. During their brief conversation, Wade asks where he is heading, and Maxie explains that he's going on a walk with his daughter. After this, Wade leaves, but the thriller begins here. Not long after, Wade starts following their car. He shoots at them, and one of the bullets hits Maxie. Despite being injured, Maxie doesn't stop the car and drives faster. However, after some distance, the car crashes. Maxie tells Clara to run and inform Hannah that he loves her very much. Clara hesitates to leave him in such a condition, but has no choice. She runs into the forest while Wade arrives and kills Maxie. The movie doesn't yet reveal Wade's motivations, but his actions suggest that killing is just a game for him. Meanwhile, at home, Emily, Clara's older sister, arrives at their mother's house to help with household chores. The police reach the petrol pump to investigate and are shocked to hear that someone could kill others over something so trivial. In the forest, Clara is running for her life. Wade, sitting in Maxie's car next to his lifeless body, checks Maxie's phone. He finds photos of Hannah that catch his interest. Pretending to be Maxie, he messages Hannah and starts chatting with her. Hannah, unaware of what's happening, believes everything is fine. Elsewhere, Clara, exhausted from running, sits down to rest. Suddenly, a man approaches her and asks if she is okay. Seeing his face, Clara is terrified. It's Wade. She starts running again, but while fleeing, she falls into a ditch. Despite this, she continues running and reaches a high cliff, where she calls the police. She tries to explain her situation, but the poor network makes it hard for them to understand her, and the call gets disconnected. Clara then calls her mother and leaves a voice message, explaining, "There's a killer after me. He killed Maxie, and now he wants to kill me too. I've run into the jungle." After cleaning her wounds in a nearby river, she hears gunshots and assumes Wade is nearby. In reality, Wade had killed 2 rangers in the jungle. The sound of those gunshots was from him. Wade appears to be a deranged man, killing people as if he were the protagonist in a violent action film. Back at Maxie's car, the police begin piecing together the crime scene. Meanwhile, Wade sees Clara running through the forest and chases her. Interestingly, he hasn't shot her yet, suggesting he has other intentions. While running, Clara meets a boy named Tony and tells him someone is after her. Seeing her terrified state, Tony takes her to his camp, where his parents are. Tony explains, "I found this girl in the jungle, and she's really scared." His mother suggests calling the police immediately. A bullet hits his mother, killing her on the spot. Because Wade had reached there too, Clara runs away and sees that Wade has killed everyone. There is no fear on his face. It seems he isn't afraid of anyone. It's as if someone or something has completely destroyed the fear inside him. Meanwhile, we see Hannah at home. She receives a voice message from Clara. After listening to it, she is shocked, as if the ground has slipped from beneath her feet. Just then, the police arrive and inform her that they have found her husband's body. Hannah plays Clara's voice message for them, explaining that her daughter is in the forest and someone is trying to kill her. The policeman shows her a sketch and asks if she recognizes the man, but she denies knowing him. He warns her to inform the police if anyone contacts her. After the police leave, Hannah checks the messages on her husband's phone. She realizes that Wade is using Maxie's phone. Frantic, she calls the number. Wade doesn't answer at first, but after she calls twice more, he picks up. Hannah tells him, "You have a head injury. You're sick. Don't do this." Listening to their conversation, it becomes apparent that Hannah might know Wade from the past. If so, why didn't she tell the police earlier? Wade threatens her, saying, "No one can save your daughter." She will have to die. Meanwhile, Clara turns on the location tracker on her phone and discovers that her father's phone is nearby. Realizing Wade has it, she sneaks into his camp, steals her bag, and runs. She heads toward her house, but Hannah, worried about Clara's safety, contacts the police and pleads with them to track her daughter's location immediately. The police assure her they are working on it, but Hannah doesn't mention her conversation with Wade, adding to the suspicion that something is amiss. The police intensify their search, while Clara continues to flee. Feeling safer after putting some distance between herself and Wade, Clara calls her mother. Thankfully, the network works and the call connects. Clara explains her situation and asks what to do. Hannah advises her to hide, stay calm, and save her phone's battery, assuring her that the police are on their way. Hannah, on the other hand, digs deeper into Wade's background. She discovers that Wade was once a teacher who taught survival skills. However, his methods were unconventional. He taught children how to escape if caught stealing, how to dispose of a body after killing someone, and other bizarre techniques. Through flashbacks, we learn more about Wade's past. One day, Wade came home early and noticed a strange bike parked outside. Inside, he found 2 glasses on the table and a man's jacket containing a gun. Suspicious, Wade grabbed the gun and went further inside, where he discovered his wife with another man. Without hesitation, Wade shot them both. From that moment on, his personality changed entirely. As he left the house wearing the man's jacket, an old lady commented on the loud music his friends played daily. She added that she was calling the police. Wade realized this wasn't the first time the man had visited his house. Enraged by her remarks, he hit the old lady and drove off on his bike. This marked the beginning of Wade's descent into madness. His wife's betrayal had unleashed the rage within him, turning him into a ruthless killer determined to destroy anyone in his way. Back in the forest, Tony succumbs to his injuries. Though the bullet had only grazed him, he bled out during the night. In the morning, Clara discovers his lifeless body. Devastated, she hangs his bag nearby and moves on. But soon, she begins to experience anxiety attacks again, triggered by visions of her father's death. Clara knows how to manage these episodes, so she climbs a tree to calm herself. From the tree, she spots people standing near a small shop in the distance. Hopeful, she climbs down and makes her way toward them. There were some policemen and valeters there, and Emily was also among them. Hearing Clara's voice, Emily turns back and sees her approaching from a distance. She runs toward Clara and hugs her tightly. The police immediately point their guns, but Wade was not there. However, this story does not end here. Someone arrives at Hannah's house. When she opens the door, it's none other than Wade, who holds her at gunpoint. He then calls Emily using Hannah's phone and lies, saying that Hannah is having labor pains and needs her to come home immediately. Emily and Clara rush home, only to find Wade holding their mother captive. Now all 3 women are trapped. Clara is furious but helpless, knowing they must comply with Wade's commands for now. They are seated together at a table when Wade pours drinks and reminisces. He tells them, "When my wife was happy, she used to drink too." Hearing this, Clara boldly asks, "Where is your wife now?" Wade replies, "She's at home. I saw her with someone else, so I left her there to die. A few days later, she died in agony. You look just like her." He smiles eerily and adds, "I'm very lucky to be with 3 beautiful girls today." Clara retorts angrily, "So that's why you didn't kill me, but you killed everyone else?" She then surprises him by pulling out a knife and declaring, "You killed your wife, but I'm still alive." With those words, she stabs his hand. The women try to overpower Wade, but he is too strong. He hurls them aside and grabs the knife, using it to stab Clara fatally. As Wade advances toward the others, Hannah seizes his gun. She hesitates to pull the trigger, but Wade taunts her, knowing the police will capture him and he won't survive. He provokes her into shooting him, and Hannah finally fires, ending Wade's reign of terror. The scene shifts to 2 months later. As they embrace, Hannah suddenly goes into labor. They quickly rush to the hospital, bringing the story to its end. The title of the story, You Can't Run Forever, is a profound reflection on both Wade and Hannah. Wade's anger drove him to destroy everyone in his path, and Hannah was forced to face her fears and confront him. The message is clear: you cannot run forever. Eventually, you must stand and fight. Only then can you find peace and emerge victorious. So that's it. Hope you enjoy the story. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos.